Let's start. Our beginning will be with explanation and definition by some of security definitions. So whenever we talk about security, we have a lot of definitions that could make us somehow dizzy, as a lot of these definitions could be non-understandable. Our goal in this class is by the end of the class is we will make sure that all of the definitions that you have so far on the screen is understandable by you. But in case anybody know what do we mean by, for example, I believe we discussed what do we mean by system hardening in like a nutshell about it. I believe we discussed what do we mean by countermeasure or control, but we will gain a lot of knowledge about it, don't worry. But the problem with security in general is it includes a lot of definitions, and for people that are not working in information security, they may find it hard to understand what does these definitions mean, because not all of these definitions can be translated in the actual meaning, because some of these definitions could be non or somehow ambiguous. For example, can somebody tells me what is your feeling about the term footprinting? This term exactly. Okay, this is the actual meaning of footprinting. Okay, but in cybersecurity, what do we mean by footprinting is in any cyber attack to be conducted, we need to understand what are the properties of the system that we are going to attack. Okay, so if we are preparing a virus to attack a Windows system, in fact, the runtime of Windows system is not the same as Linux system. What do you mean by the runtime, by the way? Let me explain it here on the screen. Do you believe that I can or could I create a virus or a program that can work on Linux and Windows at the same time? Why this? Why the answer here is no? Yeah, and that's what do we mean by runtime. So runtime is every operating system include a kind of programming, a kind of DLLs, a kind of system executable files, and the way Linux is written, for example, is different than Windows, unless we have a common library on top of these two systems. Is anybody of here has a knowledge in programming or has been engaged in Python coding before, even during the study and university degree and so on? Okay, anyway, by default, all operating systems, or when we talk about Linux and Windows, each of these systems will include different runtime. So we cannot create a virus to a system or find a way to attack a system unless we understand what are the criteria of this system or what are the specifications of this system, such as what is the type of operating system, Linux or Windows? What are the open ports? Is this a web server? Is this a printing server? Is this a file share server? And all of this stuff. And we do a kind of analysis and kind of scanning in order to identify the footprinting of servers. Okay, so footprinting, the same way that we understand user trails, we can also do a kind of discovery scan to understand the footprinting of the servers. This was just a discussion to make you ready for what we are going to encounter. But don't worry, by the end, we will gain a lot of knowledge about all of these terms. So when we ask about what is the goal of security, what do I try to achieve when I implement a security program in my company or my organization? What is the possible outcomes of the information security. I'm asking here. You will find me asking a lot just to ensure that you are engaged. Yeah, the question first, my way in speaking is clear, right, or not? Because I'm not a native, unlike you. So I'm just want to make sure that I am talking properly and I am understandable. Okay, so my question here is why, what are we trying to achieve by implementing security? Why security is important to the business right now? So your answer is no one can. Okay, no one. Yeah, you answered two parts of the goals of security actually. The first is no one can take the data, and the second, no one can mess around with the data. صح? Right? Okay. Okay. Let's say tamper the data. What else can be a target of security that is not included in these two reasons of why do we need a security? Okay, in fact, you answered one of the two essential components of why any organization need to have a good security. The first one is to no one can take the data, no one can access the data, but we need to add two other statements or two other definitions with each one of these statements. Unless authorized. Make sense? So security can help in no one can take the data, no one can access the data unless authorized. And that what do we mean by the confidentiality in security? When we implement a security program in our organization or when we have an information security function in our business, their goal will be first is to ensure confidentiality. And what do we mean by confidentiality is to ensure that only authorized user, whether it was a subject or an actual person, can view the data. The other part is to ensure that no one can play around or mess around with the data. Nobody can enter the database and adjust or modify the data about the payroll data or the customer data in my system unless this one is authorized to do such activity or such action. So by having security, you aim to achieve these two definitions. The first is confidentiality. No one can take the data unless authorized or access the data unless authorized. And second one, no one can tamper the data unless authorized as well. And about data tampering, that's what do we mean by integrity. Can you give me an example for messing with data or changing the integrity of the data? Yeah, and why he can do something like this? Or why somebody could need to do something like this? Of course, because he need to achieve or reach a malicious intention. Okay, so any system or any IT system, such as financial application, something like this, they need to have controls in place to ensure confidentiality can be achieved and integrity can be achieved. Can you give me an example of how we can controlling who can access the data to permit only authorized subject to access the data? Group policy, in fact, can control who can access file sharing. This is a practical example for using group policies. But one of the basic utility or process that we use in achieving confidentiality is the access control. When we have Microsoft Active Directory in our infrastructure, and this Active Directory has a lot of Windows devices joined to this domain, whenever anybody try to access any of these devices, he need to have a user name created on the domain from the beginning, right? So to achieve confidentiality, we need to have a sort of access control that control who can access and who cannot access to the system. Is this the only way to achieve the confidentiality? Okay, give me another example. Okay, for example, in confidentiality, we provided two definitions, or we provided two, let's say, two goals. First one, no one can access the data. Is that right? We can add another term here, which is no one can view the data. Okay, and viewing the data means data will not be readable to anyone, but only to the authorized one. And that can be done by implementing what is called encryption. And encryption is some technique or some technology that we can use to change any data to non-readable or not readable format. But only the one who has the encryption key can do a decryption for this data, and then he can read the data. Okay? So the third aspect for what information security can achieve in any organization is the availability aspect. By having your system is confidential, protected, and integrity of the data on this application is guaranteed, and having disaster recovery plan in place, you can achieve the availability topic or availability aspect. You will find that security people in the organization are not only concerned about confidentiality and integrity, but they are also concerned about the availability aspect. So they may send like a questionnaires or emails to IT staff like backup administrators and asking them if they are doing a proper data backup every week as scheduled or not. Because backup, for example, backup and restore is one of the way to achieve the availability of the systems. Do we know what do we mean by system availability, and could you take me an example for it? You couldn't. You couldn't. Am I heard correctly? Okay, so assuming that I am a big company and I have a web service or a web application that publish my service, or like a website that provide my service to customers. So what could happen if these websites went out of service, goes down? Yeah, and that is the contradiction, or that is the opposite of availability. By having your system unavailable, you are messing with the availability part. So what could be the reasons of system to be not available? Could be, yeah, could be hardware issue, could be software issue, okay, could be cyber attack that come from the internet. All of these could be reasons for a system to be not available. So we will find that in information security, we care about is there a regular maintenance happening to our hardware or not. Information security people does not go by themselves and start to maintain the hardware, but they have like a guideline include or mandate that any hardware in the organization should be subject to quarter maintenance, like removing the dust, changing or taking like a proactive maintenance or a preventive maintenance, ensuring power stability, okay, and all of this stuff. They also have like a mandates or a requirements for regular batch management. Do we are familiar with what do we mean by patch management? Oh, okay. In fact, I don't. I miss the pronunciation of processes, so I believe it is patch management. If I'm pronouncing it properly, patch management. Is that okay? Not patch. So, what do you mean by patch management? Yeah, yeah, and great. Why do we need to update software on the devices? Yeah, so one of the reasons why we need to have a process for patch management in place is to secure our hardware against failure due to cyber attacks. Is that clear? So as you can see, there are a lot of way or reasons to mess with the availability part. Part of these ways is related to hardware and software, and this can be managed or mitigated by like preventive maintenance and regular patching and regular updates. And part of them can be managed by patching and by implementing firewall that can counter the attacks that can come from external sources, for example. So what if I took all precautions and all required solutions to ensure I will counter external threats and internal threats, but I still have a single server? Do I have optimum level of availability yet, or there is something else I can add or I could add to my design or my system? Yeah, and that's what do we mean by implementing high availability setup or a failover setup. And in high availability setup, instead of placing one server, we can place two servers. And we have a kind of software that manage that only the single one of these two servers is active, but the other one is only passive. It monitor if the other peer is working or not. So in case the second server failed that or found that the first server has failed, he will take the ownership and will start processing the actual transactions. Who can define these requirements and who need to ensure that confidentiality, integrity, and the availability aspects are exist in our system? The security people. Because as I mentioned, security people are not only concerned about the concept of keeping the data secure and safe and correct, but also they need to ensure the availability aspect is well managed. So availability is a factor or a parameter that ensure data is available whenever needed for authorized subject as well. Before going to the next slide, can somebody tells me what is the difference when I say subject versus user? Yeah, that's right. We have in when we create a policy for allowing authorized subject to access what he entitled or what it entitled to access. This subject can be someone, correct, who is allowed to access a shared folder, or could be a process in my system like Google Chrome browser to access a certain file share folder to grab the data or to upload or download the data.